Hello internet and welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions, the place where we all calmly stand around a digital water cooler and discuss the not so surreal real world implications of the SCP Foundation and its hideous host of anomalies. What's going on guys? As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice Jack Finch as we once again dig through the archives of the SCP Foundation, try and figure out our ELO rating before remembering that we're thankfully terrible at chess, and curiously ask the question, what if SCP-1875 was real? Roll the clip.
Du fick svart.
Det passar ju bäst så. Intressant.
Now, it's easy to think that on the surface, SCP-1875 is merely all about chess, but in reality it's a precursor to an entire other level of the terrifying depths so often found in the Foundation's deepest records. It poses a wider question, one which is rarely explored in the world of horror. What if, in this digital age, we had a ghost in the machine? Before we loom ominously over that posit though, you know how it is guys. If you're a fan of this video, the SCP Foundation, haunted cyborg chess machines, or just Life's Biggest Questions in general, then be a dear and hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe bell so you can stay inundated with our hypothetical questioning barrage. If you'd like to get in touch with myself or the creative team here at Life's Biggest Questions, then head down to the info box down below. On with the show. As the record states, SCP-1875 is an Euclid-class object, a Victorian-era chess automaton that consists of four principal components, neatly referred to as SCP-1875 1 through 4. You'll sense a pattern here because on the surface or on their own, none of these things are particularly terrifying, but well, it takes a while to kick in. The first component is a steel chessboard table with a standard 8x8 grid of 64 checkered squares painted neatly on its surface. Based on its compositional makeup, research staff have identified the exact material to be English crucible steel that was likely cast sometime in the mid to late 1800s. The chessboard itself was retrieved by the Foundation sometime in the 90s from an abandoned laboratory facility discovered beneath the former residence of an undisclosed university professor in Northamptonshire, England. Now, here's the kicker. The table contains a sophisticated mechanical and biological system that controls a matrix of 64 electromagnets, which is hooked up to the combined brain tissue of two young girls, the twin daughters of an undisclosed Russian chess prodigy. The Foundation holds record of the two girls' existence, where subsequent historical records indicate the disappearance of his twin daughters. They were never found and the Russian authorities failed to identify the person or persons responsible. The leading theory is that SCP-1875 is indeed sentient and the twin girls are responsible. The second component is a 32 chess piece set carved in the Oriental style from human bone, samples of which have been genetically matched to tissue samples from the infused biological matter relating to the twin girls. The third component is a stationary steam engine manufactured by Maudsley, Sons and Field, which was also acquired from the estate of the same university professor. As demonstrated in several test incidents, this engine is responsible for powering the chess table. The fourth component, which incidentally is perhaps the least bizarre, is an 18th century suit of samurai armor in the Gosoku style that serves the purpose of being seated on a chair beside the chess table, acting as a performance prop for players. Nothing to see here really, although several researchers have reported prolonged feelings of anxiety after making eye contact with the armor's faceplate. Like I said, it all seems pretty innocent, right? If not remarkably unsettling and a tad Victorian, shall we say. It's a chess automaton with a sprinkle of theatre, right? Well, when all of these components were combined and researchers began undergoing tests on the entity, that's when things started getting weird, even with the Foundation's track record. When researchers tested it on its fifth setting, the board began to make illegal and random moves, ramming pieces across the board and generally being a pig-headed, not so nice chess-solving machine. And then, 5 minutes after tests completed, the entire staff of SCP-1875 was sent a random email with a bizarre heading in Russian and an image attachment. A black and white photograph of two young girls distorted and twisted in a deeply unsettling image. Well, cue mimetic traumatic event, because this is where things get really weird. Researchers who clicked the image soon started reporting mild anxiety, headaches, restlessness, insomnia, and reports for auditory hallucination, often heard as quiet childlike laughter, the twin girls giggling. At the end, it culminated in researchers self-mutilating themselves while wildly demanding access to a computer so they could view the image once again. Reportedly, the only final outcome is death. And well, this is where we're brought full circle, because in this wide array of data and digital fingerprints across the internet, is it plausible to believe that one day, perhaps not now, but in the near future, there will be the lingering memory of consciousness in the vast ocean of information? Let's take a brief look at whole brain emulation and the hypothetical process of mind and brain upload. Have you ever thought about uploading your mind to a machine and living forever in an immortal synthetic shell? Of course, you'd technically be a robot, but still, you'd be you. Or would you? It's a question that has stumped modern philosophers for decades. You'd still possess all of your memories, all of your emotions, identity, and individual psychology, but your consciousness would be digitized. According to Randall Cohn, a neuroscientist and founder of the Carbon Copies Foundation, he states that it is entirely probable that our human minds can be uploaded and digitally recreated, and technology is merely on the brink of this discovery. So if we can imagine that, then in the age of connectivity, an entity like SCP-1875 could theoretically exist. Unwittingly, we could be our own creators, the makers of our own personal ghosts. What would happen if code harbored a grudge? What if with every whole brain upload a trace of that consciousness lingered, waiting in the dark corners of modernity to enact their paranormal revenge? Well, I think that'd be enough internet for me. Unfortunately folks, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Cheers for sticking around all the way to the end. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button and show some love in the comment section down below. To continue on with your questioning binge, feel free to hit that playlist floating shortly above. As per usual, I've been your host Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.